Oh my God! Thank fucking Christ! I'm gonna talk about a Argento property after you know three in a row, three duds in a row. I'm gonna talk about one I actually think is pretty damn entertaining, and that is the Masters of Horror episode Jennifer. Masters of Horror was a TV series that ran for 2 seasons, and it was created by Mick Garris, and it featured a new horror icon director in every episode of the series, and you had big names, man. John Carpenter, John Landis, and fucking Dario Argento, and the list went on. I mean, every big name in the business, basically in the horror genre, was doing one of these. So Tobey Hooper, like there's so many names, and Mick Garris himself. But yeah, Jennifer is a very memorable one. I have seen every episode of this show, but this one's very memorable because it's me, and there's a fuck ton of insanely amazing nudity in this film from our titular character. Yes, infamous emphasis on the tit, because that is really what this character is all about, is her nudity. So Jennifer is the true Butterface story, right? And this one was starring Steven Weber, and actually the teleplay was written by Steven Weber himself. So he had the writing credit, which was based on a story, I guess, but he did the screenplay for this, or the teleplay, since it was on television. And Steven Weber, of course, is connected to Mick Garris, the creator of this show, because they made the Shining miniseries together, where he played Jack Torrance. And so our main character here, he runs into a guy trying to kill this girl, and so he stops him, shoots him to death, and he finds Jennifer, and Jennifer has a not so attractive face, to say the least. This doesn't do it justice. It's way worse than this. Her mouth, her eyes are terrifying, horrifying. The effects in this show are fantastic. Like, this is way better than Do You Like Hitchcock, Giallo, Card Player, like any fucking thing. Oh, fucking Dracula 3D. Anything he did later in his career. Anything he did post Sleepless. This is the best thing. But yeah, so the effects, man, there's some like this film, you want to call this a film episode? We'll say episode. This episode, or film, or anything, features the most graphic, gory kid death I've ever seen on film, to my memory. The kid that Jennifer eats and kills, what we see of that kid's body is fucking shocking. It's mutilated. And she still has her head all intact, and like a little bit of her torso, and then the whole rest of her is just ground beef, man. It's insanely graphic. I was taken aback. I don't remember that. I'm shocked I don't remember that, because it's so, maybe because now I have kids. I watched this before I had kids, and now I've seen it since I've had kids, and like thinking of walking in on something doing that to my kid, death 100%, no there would be no question, instantaneous death. I don't care what fucking voodoo she had over me. Now granted, that's not his kid. His kid's some like, rebel piece of shit. I don't know what's up with this kid. His family is very underdeveloped in this movie. But it's a TV series, so you expect them to kind of streamline certain things. So I'm not super surprised. Now, the question I have for this movie is, what is the deal with the scratch? Is that like her marking, and it like seeps into him, and this is what controls him, and this is what makes him see her as this, desirable thing? Now, I will say this. Guys are fucking pathetic. I am one of them. I am well aware of how pathetic I actually am. Because just like his son in this movie, if I saw Jennifer's face, and as hideous as it is, as literally shocking as it is, and it is one of the most hideous faces I've ever seen in my life in film. It is seriously grotesque. As soon as she drops her fucking sheet and her towel or whatever, her sheet in that scene, and her tits are shown, and this girl has, I mean, they must have cast this girl specifically. They had to have. Because that's kind of one of the points of the film, is her body is remarkable. I mean, it's phenomenal. So, it's, you're just like, that kid is me, and that's it. I would look at her, and I'd be like, oh my fuck, what the fuck? And then she would drop her thing, sheet, and I could not, no matter what, my brain would instantly be like, whoa, what the fuck, holy shit. I could not control it. There's no way I could. If I saw a body that amazing, I don't care what it was attached to. It could be a fucking dog's head. And I'd still be like, Jesus, dog. That dog has one hell of a body. Like, that's just how my brain's hardwired. It really is. And it's pathetic, but it's true. And I'm not going to fucking try to pretend that it's not. But, I mean, when he's having sex with her, as long as she keeps her hair in her face, it's good to go, man. It's good to go. She's got some really nice highlighted fucking blonde hair. I don't know who's doing her highlights, but they're doing a kick-ass job. I can't imagine taking that girl into the salon. I can't imagine. She sat in my chair. I'd be like, you got to take off all those fucking clothes if you expect me to do your hair. And no eating any of my customers. Ben Meeker himself, Bo Starr from Halloween 4 and 5. He is the chief in this for a couple minutes, but it was cool to see him. Good old Ben Meeker. Her daddy don't scare me. Speaking of amazing tits, Kelly Meeker, although I wouldn't fucking know, would I? At least I think they're great. And so he goes home and his wife tries to fuck him, and he can't get this image out of his head of him shooting someone. I get her intent. I mean, you think, and she says it's been a while too, so she thinks like, I'm gonna cheer him up, like he's down. This is a good way to cheer a guy up. And you know, his wife's a good looking woman, and you know, she tries, and she seems to be a fine wife. I mean, I don't see anything against her at all. But then he like flips her over, and I don't know what he does to her, but she don't like it. I'm assuming he puts it in her ass. Maybe he shoves it in really dry and really raw, and he's just like pounding it. I don't know. But whatever it is, she seems to be in a lot of pain, and he is an asshole for possibly fucking her asshole. I don't know what happens there. But something happens, and she don't like it. And then, oh my god, her face though, like, in addition to how disgusting her face actually is, her tongue when she goes to like lick him, and there's like, it looks like she just ate something and it's like all up on her tongue. Oh my god. But I mean, from what I can tell by his reaction, whatever that shit is has some kind of like, you know, rippling effect or something on his dick, because it seems to be magic when she goes down on him. So, you know, I don't know, it adds like, you know, ribbed for his pleasure for once. Fucking ridiculous. So then, yeah, the son seeing her tits and being like, instantly he's grossed out. I mean, I already talked about that, but it's pretty funny. Just the way he's like, ooh. He's like, I think she's fucking awesome. I don't think he thinks she's fucking awesome after he, you know, after he sees her bite his mom's face. It's so hard to fucking do the he's and the hers and the his, all that shit sometimes with sentences. He probably isn't excited that he sees her bite his mom's face. It's so fucking complicated sometimes. Jesus Christ, when you're doing this shit like live like this, no edits, the he's and the his and the hers and the who's and the what's and the how's, they get really fucking confusing in your brain. But yeah, I mean, I don't see, this is what I'm saying. Like, she clearly has to have something over him. her body isn't that good. Okay, nobody's fucking body is that good. Nobody's that hot. Nobody's that fucking amazing. I don't care. Her face could be the most incredible thing ever. She could be Marissa Tomei in her fucking prime. Would not matter. You cannot bite my fucking wife in the face. You cannot murder my cat. You can't kill the fucking kid next door. You can't kill the guy I send to take you to the carnival or whatever the fuck he was doing there. I don't know what the hell that was. The sideshow freak, like he was coming to abduct her. Why didn't he just bring her and be like, here, do you need a freak for your freak show? I don't know. He was going there to kill her. I mean, but it was like a freak show thing. So he was going to apprehend her. I don't know. Like you have to do, I don't know. Are all circus dudes like sketchy guys that go and kidnap people to be in their sideshow? Is that like how that works? I don't know what the fuck's happening in that scene, but whatever. He hires this guy and then he ends up in the refrigerator, which is another pretty gnarly thing. And then she even kills that kid of the little market or whatever the hell that place is that he works at. And she's like eating his dick when he comes in. She's like, all of his intestines are out and she's like down on his dick. You know, Jesus Christ. No wonder this girl has garbage, like shit all in her mouth. She's, you know, eats everything in sight. So cat, the neighbor kid, bites the mom, you know, bites his wife's face, kills two other fucking people. And he's just like, I love how the kid at the store is his last straw. That's his last straw. Not the little cute neighbor girl that's like 6 fucking years old. That's not the last straw for him. No. She has to kill some, 15-year-old boy? That's what sets him off, really? Because what? He had a liking for that woman, like, who's his mother? Like, what? Why is that his last straw? That I don't see why that makes any sense. Like, somehow he's able to break through that and go to kill her. So she has control over him until she pushes him too far. I don't see that making any sense. She killed a fucking child brutally. He would give her up after the cat. After he walked in on the cat with the largest fucking intestines I've ever seen in my life. But for some reason, he's able to look past that and the neighbor kid and the guy he sent there. And then I like how like he starts laughing when he sees it because he's just like deranged by that point. And she gets like excited, like, oh, he thinks it's funny. I did a good thing. I thought that was cool. That was like one of the only times where she shows any real character outside of like damsel in distress. And that's like, you know, I'm going to give credit to Kayla here who watched this with me. She was saying that, you know, one of her like powers here against men is she takes advantage of their desire to protect a damsel in distress. She very much plays that weak little, you know, girl who needs the big man to save her, something that a lot of men get off on, myself included. That's definitely something that I find attractive and appealing. Not all the time. I don't want some fucking pathetic woman, but there is an attractiveness to being that guy, the knight in shining armor, right? You want to come in, you want to swoop in, and you want to save the girl from the bad things. But yeah, you know, and her point was being that not only does she use that, but also that she doesn't fucking need to do that because she's clearly not incapable of taking care of herself. She's a fucking monster. She can kill anything and anyone. He sends like a fucking huge dude from the circus to go get her, and she dispatches him and fucking mutilates him and stores him in the fridge for later. She is strong. She's capable. But for some reason, I don't know why. So that's my question. Why does she do this? Why does she doesn't need him to bring her bodies. That's not what ends up happening in this movie. It's not like, you know, she's in the basement and she's just like fucking him and being like, bring me the bodies. She never even says a word. She does not have a vocabulary in this movie. She just kind of is like moaning and then she gets this really crazy growl when she's fucking. So she's like a straight up monster for sure. But what purpose does it serve for her to take on these men? I don't know. Maybe that's part of her thing. Maybe that's also what feeds her. Maybe she feeds off of that. I don't know what she needs them for because she kills everyone herself. He doesn't lure anybody. She just like picks random targets. Yeah, they're kind of attached to him, but not really. I mean, she goes and kills the neighbor kid. How is that attached to him? She doesn't need him for that. So I don't really, I guess it's to protect her. I guess that's what it is. But realistically, all he does is he like takes her to a cabin after, I mean, yeah, he ditches out on the wife, but he doesn't like protect her. Like, I could understand if like people were trying to harm her in the movie and he came in and he protected her and he killed these people and then she ate them and he was just like, why do I keep protecting you? I should have let them kill you. That would have made more sense. That would have then had a provided service role of the fucking protector, right? I just feel like they kind of missed the mark on that one a little bit. Like, I don't really understand the purpose of her needing these guys. But, I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing it. But yeah, the main thing from this, the main takeaway from this film, I always remember this being because of her amazing body and her fucked up face. But that child death, I will never get that out of my head. It is so unbelievably graphic. It's fucking insane. Like, it's crazy. I'm surprised this isn't talked about more. Because this kid is fucking mutilated. And she is, like, legitimately 6 years old. It's really, really wild. And, yeah, and the scratch. I don't think I got into that much. Like, is the scratch controlling him? Because then the hunter, once this comes full circle... Now, had we found out that the other guy at the beginning, who was once some big wig dude, had he had a scratch on his body that was similar and broke out, let's say, like, he looked at his hand and he saw, or his face or something, and he saw a scratch, but it was super infected and falling apart and whatever, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And then as throughout the film or the TV episode, he, like, starts to scratch, and then his body starts to fall apart from that scratch, and it's like, what the fuck did you do to me? You know? Like, that would have played better, too. So, I feel like, even though I do like it, I like the story, you know, I like the setup, I like a lot of that stuff, and there's some insane kills, and there's, of course, some great nudity, which you guys all know I love. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I just feel like the scratch should have been explored upon more, and as I've already said, I can, in 2 seconds off the top of my head, come up with a better, you know, way to go with it so that it makes more sense. And then other things that I said that they could have improved upon as well, like him protecting her and killing some people and her eating, like that kind of stuff would have done better in the film. Another thing that this I keep wanting to call it, it's a fucking film, it's a short film, I'm just gonna go with film. It has a pretty cool soundtrack. It sounds similar to other things of the past that he's done. But I like the, like, little kids. I always like when little kids are in movie songs, like scores and whatnot. There's something very haunting and creepy about children being like, la, 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 la. That kind of shit. I don't know, man. It always works for me, and it works really, really well here. And, oh, yet again, just like I was making fun of in the card player, I was going on this tangent about how this dude starts chasing the girl, the poker dude that they hire. He starts chasing this girl, like, just barely knows her, not even spoken to her really much, and then this one's, it's even worse. But he just starts relentlessly chasing her. And he's like, wait, where are you going? Come back, wait, where are we going? Oh my god, where are you going? This would never happen. This would never fucking happen in a million years. And then it happens in this too. The kid sees her. Can't see her face, no thing. She just runs off. Would you go chasing her? If you saw some chick in the woods that was at a party and she took off when you saw her, would you run after her and chase her through the woods for like a quarter mile screaming, wait, where are you going? Hey, wait. Hey, where are you going? Of course the fuck you wouldn't. This is so dumb. I don't understand. It's in 2 Argento properties now that I've watched in the last couple days. I don't understand why this is a thing. Because it's not a thing. So, yeah, I just couldn't help but fucking notice it once again. But yeah, this comes full circle, and now she has a hunter guy. Now, it would have added to it had she then grabbed over at his hand and scratched his hand, marking him and seeping in some kind of, like, poison or something that makes him kind of complacent and makes him want to protect her. You know, like all of a sudden have this overwhelming desire to like protect her. And then he like, let's say like he starts like, you know, he feels like this is what's controlling him. And then he finally like fucking, he's like, no. And he like cuts off his hand. And then a bunch of like poison starts pouring out of his wrist. And then he like starts to gain control and he's like, what the fuck did you do to me? And he goes and he grabs her and he pulls her outside and he tries to kill her. See what I'm saying? There's so much, god damn, man. I feel like this will sound like I'm tooting my own horn or something and I'm trying to pretend that I'm fucking smarter or cooler, you know, than I am. But whatever, like I feel like sometimes that people should fucking call me and consult me on like how we can make this shit better. Because there's so many things I just said that would make this exponentially better. But regardless, I still think it's entertaining. I still think it's one of the better Masters of Horror episodes. And this is definitely making me want to cover the entire series. I have covered the 2 Carpenter ones, you know, Cigarette Burns and Pro-Life. And then I now have covered, obviously, Jennifer. And I don't think I've knocked out any of the other ones, but maybe I'm incorrect on that. But I'm pretty sure I have not. The one I'm looking forward to the most on recovering is... oh, well, not recovering. Covering and rewatching is Family. Family is my favorite of these. I love that one. I think it's so funny and so cool. And I'm really looking forward to all of them, to be honest. I remember... I really want to rewatch Imprint. I think I'll really like that one this time. Like, at that time when I originally watched it, I don't think I got it. It was really out there. And I was like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? But we'll see. But yeah, Masters of Horror season 1 is on Amazon for like $5 or $7.50 or something, and I bought that, so I have that, and then I have access to season 2 on my computer, so I can watch it that way. But season 2 is like nowhere to be found. It's really annoying. So if anyone has like a good link to like buying season 2 as one whole thing, and it's not like this enormous collector's thing, and it's not like $1,000, let me know. But other than that, this is definitely the best Argento thing since Sleepless. So, you know, and I was just looking at, I just pulled this out. I love this Blu-ray. Isn't this cool? Isn't this pretty? This is a pretty one. I'm a big fan of this slipcover. So, yeah, this is by Scorpion Release. This is a really beautiful transfer of the film as well. So, this is Argento's last good film. But this is a cool entry into his catalog as well. But anyways... did he do another one of these? It's slipping my mind. I feel like he did, but I can't fucking remember what it is. So I'm gonna go look into that. I feel like he did do one. Other one. He did, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. I'm gonna go look at what that is, and I don't think I have it at the... oh wait, no, I wouldn't. Fuck. All right, well, I'll watch it soon, and I'm gonna watch all of these. So look forward to that. Adios.